My father worked in the mines, his carbide lamp cutting meekly through the impenetrable darkness. Owned by the company and controlled by fear, he was driven to provide for his family. My name is Richie O'Rourke, and this is the story of our lives, in a place known simply as Mineville.
Front page news.
Jesus, Tom. I didn't think we were going to make it out of there that time. It's my life. I'll be owing you, Seamus. Either that or a pint of beer at Paddy's.
That's about all it's worth. Did you make your quota today, Mr. O'Rourke?
No, sir. I've been robbing that pillar for days now. It keeps falling in on me.
Well, I certainly can't justify your housing if every time you go down in the hole, I lose money. Now, can I?
No, sir.
Good. We have an understanding then?
Yes, sir.
Good day.
For God's sake, Tom. You've got black lung. Can you not ask for a job topside? The crusher, or the switchback even. Remember what the doctor told you. If you don't stop going down the mine, you'll be gone within the year.
And is the wealthy doctor aware that we've got a day or two of coal left at most, and nothing to feed our family? If there's work for me, Mary, you'd best believe I'll be taking it. What is it?
Tom, another cave-in. There's still 3 or 4 of our men down there. I can't do this alone. Can you help? I need you.
No.
All right.
No, let someone else go. Tom, don't go.
Mary.
My brother's name was Michael. and we were inseparable. Only two things could ever keep us apart: the mines and Rebecca Lafferty.
Richie, get up.
My mom's name is Mary. It's amazing what she could do with some stale bread and old meat grease.
You understand our predicament then?
Yes, Charles, I understand.
Before we can underbid the competition, the receivable accounts must appear to match the shipping outputs.
Charles, these are the numbers. These are the books. I'll do what I can.
You can do better than that. Perhaps if you spent as much time in the office as you do socializing, this wouldn't be a problem.
Charles Weston's only son, Jonathan, a miserable soul, soon to be heir to his father's mining fortune, and he could care less.
Morning, gentlemen. Falcone.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Riley.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
See the foreman at the cloning shaft. Powell.
Yeah.
Andrews.
Here.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Meet the crew chief at the open pit. O'Rourke.
Here.
Lafferty. O'Rourke. Pillars.
There's a hole in the mountain my daddy goes, says that it feeds us and gives us a home. His face is black, as black as that hole. When I am a man, into that same hole I'll go.
Wherever Michael went, trouble soon followed, usually in the form of Jonathan Weston. My brother and John have been locked in a battle of brains and brawn for as long as anyone can recall, each wanting what the other seems to have.
Come on, Mikey. You're faster to get that. You all right? Come on! Get him! Come on! Come on! Make me proud. Come on, Boyle! Bang! There we go! Keep him up! Tag him! Tag him! Hit him again! Hit him again! Come on! There we go, Mike. Oh, come on! Stay up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Take him down! Come on! Start fighting! Come on! Good pack. Them boys can drink now. Come on! Come on! Come on, Boyle! Come on, you got him, you got him. Go get him. There you go, Mikey.
Come on, boys.
Don't fight if you're going to lose. It reflects poorly on me.
Almighty Father, for thy bounty which we are about to receive, Lord, make us truly grateful. Amen. Is it true what I heard today, Michael? Were you fighting with the Weston boy?
Yeah, Weston attacked Richard. What am I supposed to do?
You don't bite the hand that feeds us.
So this is the table of plenty that the Weston Company provides.
That's not what I'm talking about, Michael, and you know it. I'm fearful of the damage you've already caused this family.
Michael, mind your manners. Your father has enough on his mind as it is. Did everybody make it out last night?
Everybody but Seamus. Seamus Lafferty. Crushed to death.
Michael!
Let him go.
Leaving again, Father. I so seldom have the pleasure of your company.
Seems I've a little matter to attend to. Do unto others as they say.
Rebecca!
Had we known of Seamus's death earlier that day, we could have found Rebecca before Weston could get his hands on her.
Francis?
Can't stay away from the old place, eh, Charles? Excuse me. Well then, I'll bid you good night, Charles, unless there's something else you'd like me to attend to. Charles.
Oh, I'd like you to order the old bed shaft sealed.
You're aware O'Rourke hasn't finished the last pillar?
Shame.
Well, where should I tell him to go in the morning?
Home, I suppose.
Good night.
Good night.
In Michael's mind, an Arthur and I was the way to settle most crimes. You take his girl, he'll steal your coal.
I'll deal with you later. precarious situation you're in, my dear. Seems you've no place to live. Fortunately, I'm in need of another servant. Fortunately for me, that is. Strong working hands. A little thin. Gaunt is more like it. We'll have none of that.
Tom, what are you doing home? Is everything all right?
Seems there's no work for me today. And no one will say why. Pity that boy of ours if this has anything to do with that fight.
Holy God. Tom, come here, look at this.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. You know something?
Sit down. I can
I wish I could have given you a better life.
Why don't we just leave here, Pop? There's nothing good here.
That takes money. Lots of it and a place to go, and we got neither.
How is it that we got nothing? Weston's got everything. We got families starving, they're dying all around us, and Weston's just fatter and richer up there. He's got to change around here, Pop.
Don't dwell on that. That'll eat you alive. That'll swallow you whole like the mines. Now, you've seen what happens to people that go up against the company. You best be forgetting about the Lafferty girl, too. She's better off there, you know that. You don't want to see her starving in the streets. Come on.
Mr. Franklin has committed 200. Mr. Dorio has committed 150.
Thank you for your continued patronage.
and I apologize for doing business.
Good of you, Doppel.
Thank you.
Business hasn't been as good as I would have liked this year.
Beg your pardon, sir, but 95% of them have been making quota. Workers have never been so productive.
Then the quota is too low.
I see, I'm sorry.
Now, if there are no further interruptions, a toast. To future business, and to the erecting of the New York City skyline with the finest iron in the world.
Yeah, to Western Mining.
Oh, Mary, you've been practicing, girl. Shush.
How are you doing, Anna?
Molly, go on. That's the best you can do,
I found a huge serpent lying nearly dead under a rock, said the peasant to the fox. I freed him, and now he wants to eat me. So they returned to the quarry, and the fox asked the serpent to reconstruct the scene. But the serpent was reluctant to get back into the hole from which he was rescued. So the fox, a recent emigre from Paris, said, "Well, I understand. A serpent like yourself does not have the ability to get into a hole like that." The serpent said, "I can get into any hole I want." And he slithered right back in, at which point the fox shouted to the peasant, "Shut him in! Shut him in!" And the peasant rolled the boulder right back over the serpent, whose head was barely visible. Fox looked him straight in the eye and said, "Well, serpent, is this exactly how it was when the peasant found you? No, you don't have to answer, for here you shall stay for the rest of your days. Remember, you yourself said, every good deed should be repaid by a bad deed." You also said, "Va te faire enculer," but I'm not going to translate that.
But tell us, old man, who's the fox?
Well, Charles, that depends on whether you're talking about a personal or a professional relationship.
Speaking of professional relationships, when is the meeting in New York?
I received a telegram this morning. Due to the recent union activities, they'd like to move forward as soon as I return.
That's excellent news.
Yes, it is.
Francis, how long will you be away this time?
The better part of the first 4 years of construction. It's a massive undertaking. I take it you'll visit? From time to time?
Oh, yes, of course. I suppose you'll be needing a servant or two. Take the new girl, if you like.
Weston must be drunk and tired.
Don't say that or you'll get fired.
Weston has a lot of class.
Because Mikey kicked his little one's ass.
Mr. Weston's never fair.
Because on his balls he's got no hair. It's true.
Come in.
I brought you some fresh linens.
Bring them here. To me. Trash. I own you.
Bye.
Rebecca went to New York to work as a servant to Mr. Johnson for a time, while life went on as usual in Mineville.
That was a grand night. Did you see Mrs. Jenkins? Be a good lad now, Michael, and see what's keeping your pa. Bring me some wood for the stove.
Oh, he's probably lingering over a nice pipe full of tobacco.
That man, he'll be late for his own funeral.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Amen. Please stand and open your hymnals to page 107, Amazing Grace. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me into the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Too bad about your husband.
Thou preparest a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil.
Where will you and the boys be staying now?
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days
my house
of my
tomorrow
life.
morning, Mary O'Rourke.
And I will dwell in the house of the Lord.
We'll discuss the matter further.
I am home
Yes,
in
sir.
heaven, dear ones. Oh, so cheerful and so bright. There is perfect joy and beauty in this everlasting light.
May I have your attention, please? Thank you. Most of you know one another personally or have done business together in the past. For those of you who are here for the first time, please allow me a few introductions. Mr. Barrington, who, as most of you know, owns the largest steel refinery in all of Pennsylvania. Mr. Gentile, who, at least as far as he is concerned, remains the largest exporter of coal in West Virginia. And to the man whose reputation, good or bad, precedes him, the man who most of you have gathered here to see this evening, may I present to you sole owner and operator of the most consistently profitable iron mining operation in New York State, Mr. Charles Weston.
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for attending. I'm here to inform you that this year, the Weston Company expects to exceed all previous years' excavation of crude iron ore. Most of you have been faithful to purchase exclusively through my company, and I appreciate your business and continued support. I have compiled a list of names of those who have been chosen to once again place their orders with the Weston Company. I've also included a list of my prices to compare against the competition.
How much?
I assure you, sir, there are no lower prices than mine.
How much for the whole operation?
And you, sir, are?
Jacob Laramie, owner of the Pyramid Coal Company, co-owner and senior partner of the La Cienta Steel Company. This is my son, Robert.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment, sir. What do you do in your spare time?
Oh, you mean when I'm not tooting my horn at social gatherings? Actually, I buy things and I sell things.
Pray tell, sir, may I ask what you buy and sell?
I buy products, I buy companies, I buy people wherever there's profit.
The Weston Company has no partners, sir. We prefer to remain independent.
Independently wealthy and certainly not for sale.
Fair enough. I'll toss you for it.
Sir.
Aha. I'm sorry to say that I've got something that requires my immediate attention. Thank you for your hospitality, and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Laramie. Can we get down to business then, please? Gentlemen?
Hey, did you guys hear? The constable posted a reward for any information about those porch fires.
Porch fires? What the hell's that?
Some asshole keeps lighting bags of cow shit on fire on people's porches. He knocks on the door and then he runs.
What's the purpose of that?
There is no purpose. It's just hilarious to watch someone jump up and down on a flaming bag of shit, I suppose.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you something. Why do you keep showing up here? I mean, you gotta know that Weston's gonna keep making you his personal honey wagon.
Mikey shows up here every day to piss old Weston off.
Here we go.
All right, gentlemen, listen up. Quinn, Lynch, Patterson, O'Brien, Riley. Your foreman has your assignments. O'Rourke. Honey buckets.
In the years after my father's death, Michael and my mother had no choice but to work for the Westons. A sweet victory for Jonathan. One that was about to be made sweeter still.
You'll be pleased to know the Lafferty girl's returning to us this morning. Mr. Johnson has completed his work in New York and her services are no longer needed. She'll be working here in the kitchen with you until I find something more suitable.
There ain't no union man get caught carrying a bucket of shit.
Johnny.
My father wants the latest invoices. Get them for me. Now!
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Jenkins, good afternoon. How are you? I need some soap, please. Some
And how will we be paying for this today, Michael?
It's a special delivery for the Westons. They have an account, right?
They have an account, you say?
I'm gonna need some tobacco, too. Please.
And when did Mr. Weston take up smoking?
I know. How's Mr. Jenkins doing?
Mr. Jenkins is doing just fine.
A couple of those for good luck. Thanks, Mr. Jenkins. You're the best.
Best at knowing a wolf in sheep's clothing when I see one.
Nice day for a drive.
I got no money. Nothing to steal.
Well, then it's your lucky day, because I'm not a thief. Besides, your getaway car seems a little out of commission. Here you go.
Check for yourself. It's carefully crafted, meticulously written, but it's not the original.
How can you be sure?
Dear God, Charles, do we have to spell it out for you? He's a loose cannon. Drinking, gambling, making an utter fool of himself. Now he's embezzling.
That'll be all.
Yes, sir.
It's rather funny, really. You underbid the union contractors, cheat the workers out of their pay, and your own son cheats you. We can't afford any rumors of wrongdoing, Charles. Not now. Not while the unions are breathing down our necks. He's got to go.
All right.
Good. Good.
Mind yourselves now. Be quick, will you?
What do you think I did? You're a thief and a liar and a cheat. Prove it then. Oh, if I could prove it, you'd be out on your ass sooner than you could think about it. Get out of my sight. I can't stand the sight of you, you thieving little weasel. You fucking made me. Made you do what, you piece of crap? You birthed me. Oh, I birthed you out of my asshole, you shit. Out of here! Hit me! Hit me! God! Out of my sight! No! If it wasn't for your mother, you'd be... You're a fucking coward.
Hey, Mike, good to see you.
Richie, nice surprise.
Patty. How you doing?
Hey, Patty, how about a couple rounds for the boys, huh?
What can I get for you, fellas?
Well, union takeover would be nice.
Short of work week wouldn't hurt none either.
There you go.
Have what you wish for.
Moving on.
A couple bottles, Patty.
Sure.
Look at that son of a bitch.
What do you ever do to you anyways?
Shut up.
I'm just saying, maybe you shouldn't ruffle his feathers.
Morning's coming early. Trust you'll make it to work.
After This game, I don't have much of a choice unless you're gonna take care of my wife and kids.
Hey, Mikey. How about a little game of chance, huh?
Yeah, we'll take that bastard's money. Need at least $1 to get in on that game.
Give us a minute, Mike. I'll have all the money you need.
John, we need another player, or I might as well give you my money and go home.
Well, hand it over then, because none of these inbreeds has enough money to join in.
All right, Mike. Happy days, boy. We're in business. Well, fellas, looks like your luck's about to change. $1, I believe that's the going rate.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but tonight's game's actually, it's $2.
Who is it yet?
2. Oh, Paul. 2. Let's play.
All right.
Now, put a bit of this on your lips. Go on.
I couldn't.
Try it.
Well, don't tell the boys.
I won't. Mary, you look beautiful.
Oh, quite the lady. Oh, it's so good to have you back.
It's very good to be back. I missed you all. Michael, especially.
Ah. I know he missed you too. I know he did. You've got such beautiful things. All the way from New York. Oh, I'm so happy you're here.
Me too.
All right, I'll see that. $2.
Rich for my blood. I'm out.
Son of a bitch!
It's a shame Weston and I beat you fair and square. Hey, why don't you just sit there? I'll give you another chance to win your money back. I'm sure my boys will loan you a few bucks if you need it.
Let's say you did one day, Weston! Let's say you did! That's it, folks! Party's over! Party's over! Be off with you! And you best not be coming around here for a while. Old man Weston will be paying me a visit when they get wind of it, and there will be trouble.
Look, Jesus Christ, John, all right? You need to watch yourself around him. He means to kill you one day. Hey, you with me?
What'd you say?
I said you need to watch yourself around O'Rourke. Give him a chance to cool down. Let it pass.
I have a better idea. Have the foreman call his name when he does the roster tomorrow.
And have him do what?
Send him down to the old bed shaft. Have him remove the last pillar.
Are you out of your mind? Your old man wants that cap. She's completely
Just do it!
You're the boss.
If he shows up for work tomorrow, give him the job. Loan me $1, would you?
Have fun.
What's your pleasure, mister?
Not you.
$1 will get you anything you want. Is that all there is?
Yeah? Yeah, right? Yeah, looks like you got you pretty good, though. Hey, I almost forgot. Hey, little something for your troubles.
You slap dog. When'd you have time to get this, huh?
Huh? Well, you'd be surprised at what this one little hand can do.
I don't think I want to know what that little hand can do.
Well, you'd be even more surprised at how fast it can do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you my little, faithful little sidekick and younger little brother, Richie O'Rourke.
Yeah, little brother, that's right. You have no idea how little. You know, there was once a contest to see who had the littlest.
Boy, what happened? There was a cave in. George is still in there.
George did he work down here? You were set to go down there today and remove a pillar. George stayed down there and he set the blast so you wouldn't have to. Where you going? Michael, where?
Sheriff, is there a problem?
There's been an accident, Charles. I'm gonna have to take your boy in.
Jonathan? Whatever for?
Well, for starters, he broke the nose and the jaw of one of our ladies of the evening.
My son would not be caught dead with a prostitute.
And it seems that someone thought they could pull a prank last night and light a bag of manure on your foreman's porch.
Certainly not the first time that's been pulled. Aren't you overreacting a bit? Besides, who's to say Jonathan had anything to do with it?
Father Nelson was on his way to visit a parishioner when he saw your boy on the road and offered him a lift home. John mentioned that he lost his lighter.
Yes, and?
The porch caught on fire. By the time anyone noticed the flames, the whole place went up.
Oh, that's tragic. Sheriff, really? I still don't see what this has to do with Jonathan.
John's lighter was found on the property. Now, I'm gonna take the boy in. Where is he?
Need more proof.
We've got more than enough proof. Day after day, our men go down into the mines and no one ever sees them again. They're buried alive down there, for Christ's sake. And the few that are dug out are quickly buried in the company-owned cemeteries. Our men are overworked, burdened, and tortured.
We've got our family and homes to think about.
Homes? No, shacks. The company-owned houses are shacks. The only way you can get one of those is if you're willing to give over a good chunk of your weekly salary to one of the foremen. And on top of that, the scales are faulty, so the only way we can even make our quotas at the end of the day is to pay off the way boss. No, we want the world to know what's going on here and that we're not going to take this anymore.
We've only just recently petitioned for an 8-hour workday. Give them chance for Christ's sake.
It's unheard of. The son of a bitch deserves it. I can't believe he won't strike. This visit I'll remember. The next visit he won't.
Father, have you read today's Albany Tribune?
Of course not. Anything important?
It seems that the men up in Mineville are once again complaining about their station in life. Perhaps a visit is in order?
Are they unionized?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'd venture to think not. Because if they were unionized, we wouldn't be reading about their troubles. Union men speak with one voice, namely, mine.
Has the tenement on Hog Alley been vacated?
The widow refuses to leave, says she's no place else to go.
Frankly, sir, with a newborn at her breast, the men just didn't have the heart to put her in a street.
Does the sign out front say Weston's Homeless Shelter for Women and Children?
No, sir.
Have her credit cut at the company's store. Remove any coal from the premises that belongs to me. That should help her move along. Now, see that the sheriff gets this immediately.
Money well spent, if you ask me.
The boy is obviously troubled, Charles.
He's an embarrassment.
It could cost us everything if he hands over the ledgers. It's not the kind of information you want in the hands of union sympathizers.
He's spineless. But I'm sending him a loving ultimatum. Well, I'm sure he'll understand.
And how long do you suppose they'll keep him locked up?
As long as I'm alive.
Keep moving. Down the end. There, so. Hands through. Enjoy your stay. Get back.
Next. Mr. Lynch, 40 hours at 32 cents per hour, $12.80, minus $1.28 per day.
Per day for what?
$1.28 times 5 days, $6.40. Sign here, please.
This is bullshit. We did the work, now you gotta pay us proper.
You didn't make your full quota of ore, Mr. Lynch.
Full quota, is it? I weighed in the same tonnage per hour as always.
Yes, that's very true, but you worked 8 hours per day instead of 12 hours per day. Now, I suggest that you take your money while you still have the chance.
Give it here.
Next.
So Weston agrees to the increase we asked for, and then he shortens the workday, but not the tonnage. There's no way we're going to make the same quota in an 8-hour day, Paulie. We're going to make less now than we did before the raise.
The bastard's got it all figured out. We gotta get the unions in here, Mike. There's gotta be a way.
Yeah, but the men need to organize. And they're too afraid of what Weston can do to their families.
Meet me in the bar tonight. I've got an idea. Think it just might work.
Father, can you smell it? I don't know. There's nothing like that smell in the entire world.
Nothing at all.
Robert, would you? Don't hurt your back. I won't. Oh, no. Drag it, drag it, drag it. That's it.
You're gonna want that soon enough, my friend. Soon enough.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Where the hell do you think you're going?
We're going home, boy.
If you two gentlemen are preparing to strike, there will be consequences. And you can tell your friends that anyone who participates in strike activities will be forcibly removed from company houses.
Oh, is that so, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, well, we need safer working conditions.
That's partly what you're paid for, Mr. Lynch.
Look, these shafts need proper ventilation. We can't breathe down there. This equipment, it's outdated. The skip cars are ancient. Their cables are frayed. Every day we go in this hole, we're not even sure if we're going to come out alive.
Are you not compensated for your efforts?
It's not the pay, it's the conditions. What good's all the money in the world if you're not alive to spend it?
You tell your cronies, Mr. O'Rourke. If they remain loyal to the company, they will be rewarded. Those in need of housing for their families, it will be provided. If you need overtime, it will be allowed.
We'll be sure and give him the message. We're through here, gentlemen.
O'Rourke?
Lynch!
Francis?
Don't be an idiot, McMurphy. There's strength in numbers. The men need to stick together.
The men are afraid. Daniel Barlow joined your cause just last week, and 2 days later, his body was found crushed to death.
Look, we got to get the union in here, fellas. They never allow these conditions.
Okay, that's true. But say the union takes over. Who's to say they won't bring in men from their other companies and fill in the positions here?
All right, gentlemen, let's put it to a vote, all right? Look, everybody in favor of bringing in the union, write yes on your ballots. All opposed, write no.
My friend, would you pour me another drink, please?
Certainly will. There you are.
Thank you. Cheers to you. Aaron is one of the foremen, one of several. There's the business partner, Mr. Johnson. He travels back and forth to New York several times a month. Charles Weston is still in charge, still the boss.
Good, good, good. Any other startling revelations you want to make me aware of, son?
Perhaps. I've scheduled a meeting later this afternoon with one of the workers who might be of some help to us. The loudmouth from the bar I mentioned, Mr. Lynch, I believe his name is.
Well done. You're a most intelligent, efficacious young man.
Thank you.
It shall be down to our fortunes.
We shall indeed.
You got a message from Daddy.
What you're telling me about this man is turning my stomach. This Weston sounds like the devil himself to me. It's atrocious. It's awful.
That's why we're here. Someone has to stop him.
Oh, there's going to be a change around here. A change in leadership, I assure you of that, one way or the other. But it would be very helpful if we could have some concrete evidence to help me.
Oh, well, we might know somebody on the inside who can help us.
Excellent.
And you'll help us as well. That is the understanding.
Robert, get our friends a drink, will you?
Mr. O'Rourke. Mr. Lynch?
Good. All right then, well, let's get down to business, Laramie. We're both here for one reason. And that's to destroy Weston.
That's right.
So let's get down to it.
I need a mishap at the mine.
A mishap? For this, Charles Weston's gonna have a full-blown disaster. Good day to you, sir.
Dear Father, in this, my third attempt, I will again plead with you to find it in your heart to forgive me and to petition the sheriff on my behalf.
After all,
What harm can possibly come of it?
The documents which you so passionately seek.
Quite enough.
How can it possibly matter now, Charles? I mean, he's not stupid enough to come after you. He's lucky to be alive, for Christ's sake. And who would believe him?
I have my reasons.
Yes, you do. You have your reasons. Are you afraid of little Jonathan? The stories he might tell? The questions he might ask? Questions he might ask about his mother? That would be your own sister, if I recall correctly. Do I have the facts straight, Charles? Oh, I see. You are afraid. How very cowardly.
You mind your tongue, or you'll find yourself in there with him. As of today, I still own this town and everyone in it. That includes you. I'm not the worst thing in Mineville. Pray God I don't introduce you to what is.
Good evening, Ben. Thank you all for coming. Robert, Father. Let me ask you all a question. How many lives have to be lost? How many times do you have to look down that shaft and hope that your uncle or your brother or your cousin or your dear friend comes out alive? And how many times have you looked down that shaft and saw nothing? You have been under the thumb of Charles Weston.
You've put your lives on the line for this man. And make no mistake that he profits from you and you get nothing. How many nights have your children gone without food? You want this kind of life for your family?
No. Unionization is the only answer. It's the only way you're going to get justice. You'll get better pay. You'll get better equipment. Your families will be much better off. You will be much safer. and you will never have to suffer under Charles Weston again.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Strong men, the men who built America and continue to build it through the Union movement.
People down! Come on, let's go!
Doc! What the hell happened? A couple of guys were taking down a pillar. They went back in after the blast and the fucking roof caved in. How many hurt? Oh, it's hard to say. According to the roster, everyone's accounted but 4.
And you call this an acceptable option?
No, I call it the only one you're going to get. Don't worry, old boy. In years to come, everyone will say you're the man who did the right thing. Now, I don't want to rush you, my good man, but an early vacancy would be appreciated. It's 10 after 10 now. By 10:10 tomorrow, if you're still here, we'll have to have you arrested for trespassing. You have a nice day. Yes, Mr. Weston? Oh, this would be a great vacation house for our friends in the capital area. You know, it's wonderful to pay bottom dollar for real estate. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Speaking of cheap, amazing what trash people will buy these days.
Or perhaps, Charles, you'll realize now what it feels like to be treated as if you were nothing.
You'll excuse me while I gather my things.
Go!
Father, it seems to me there's a lot of money being spent here today. How can we countenance this?
I'm ashamed of you, Robert. These good people have suffered long and hard under that tyrant Weston. They deserve one day of surcease, one day of merriment and frivolity. Besides, all of this was charged to Weston the day before he killed himself.
Weston, you got a visitor.
Jonathan, you're looking well.
Anything you want, Johnson?
I don't want anything. In fact, I've arranged to have you released. Tomorrow, actually. Unfortunately, you've no place to go.
What are you talking about?
Your father has met with an unexpected... well, the documents that you stole came in quite handy, and your father shot himself. And your home and the family company have been taken over by the Laramie's.
You've been left with nothing, I'm sorry.
Liar! I just thought that perhaps the two of us... What's in the paper? I thought under the circumstances we might be of help to one another. I'm sorry.
Get me out!
Are you certain you want to fix this old place up?
I would have to raise my sons anywhere else.
Well, sons is it now? Next thing you know, you'll be wanting me to cook for you. And darn your old dirty socks.
Well, why don't we skip this sock darn? Get on with having the sun fire,
It was a beautiful spring day, and I was quite proud of myself, having recently
acquired a fresh chicken and a new dress as a gift for my mom.
Mama? Ma?
I guess God had other plans that day.
Mama? Mama? Mom? 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 Mama? Mama? Mom? 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 Mama? Mama? Mom? 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 Wait. Mama? Mom?
It's a shame Ma couldn't be here to see you marry Becky. When will her father's house be ready? Or do you think she'd stay here for the time being?
No. No, she's closing down the Weston house tonight. So, I think she'll be here in the morning. I'm gonna set her in tomorrow.
Another one? Sure. You get the beer, I'll load the furnace. You want me to do it for you?
No, I've gotten rather good at it. Oh, just get us a couple of cold ones.
Guess who? What? What, did you escape, huh? Don't worry. I did my time. Recognize that? Judge, I'll shoot. Huh? I see you and that orb been fucking.
Thank you, Willie. Made my job a lot easier.
Weston!
Mike, hold on, hold on. Hold on to me, Mike. Mikey! Mike, come on. Hold on. Hold on.
Michael journeyed once more into the impenetrable darkness. And this time, he took Jonathan with him. The company would eventually flounder under Laramie's rule, and mining would altogether cease in the years to come. My brother became somewhat of a legend in Mineville. And whether it be truth or tall tale, he left behind him a legacy, and a little something extra.
Mom, fishing ain't gonna wait all day.
I'll watch over his boy, the same way he watched over me.
Hole in the mountain where my daddy goes. Says that it feeds us and gives us a home. His face is black, black as that hole. When I am a man into that same hole I'll go. I am a man near 17. Lure of the mind is all that I have seen. Mama cries for me, she knows that I'll go. I'll sell my soul to the company store. Go dig deeper in that hole. Each day I go in. If I make it out, she holds me again. Well, someday we'll marry, soon we'll be wed. If we don't marry, then I'm better off dead. But the company holds me, my credit, my life, but the company will always bring me back to that mine. Go dig deeper in that
40 hours at 32 cents per hour is $12.80 minus $1.28 per day.
Per day for what?
$1.28 times 5 days.
This is bullshit.
It may be bullshit.
Well, I won't stand it. Give me my fair day's wages, Johnson.
You haven't made your quota.
Quota? It's still bullshit.
But you still haven't made your quota.
Fine, give me the money.
Take your fucking money.
Fuck off.
Be gone.
I'm gonna turn you this way a little bit.
Let's shoot it.
Stand by.